Dawn breaks over Pag-asa Island. The sun rises over fishing boats tied to the weathered pier. On the horizon, Chinese Coast Guard ships hover, watching. Soldiers patrol the beach, radios crackling with updates. The Philippine flag flutters above the town hall. A bold statement of sovereignty. Children hurry to school, laughter mixing with nervous chatter. Fishermen gather by the shore, glancing between the waves and foreign ships. Life here is a balance between routine and anxiety. The threat is never far away. In every action there is defiance. We are here. This is our home. On Pag-asa, every sunrise brings both hope and uncertainty. The South China Sea is one of the world's busiest waterways. Trillions of dollars worth of goods pass through its waters each year. Tankers carry oil and gas, while cargo ships bring electronics, clothes, and food to and from Asia, Africa, and beyond. For millions, these sea lanes are a lifeline. The sea is rich in fish, a vital source of food and income for people in the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and China. The stakes are high, not just for one country, but for the whole region. The fight for places like Pag-asa is about more than land. It's about the freedom to live and work in these waters. The Spratly Islands are a scattered chain of reefs, sandbars, and small islands. At first glance, they may seem insignificant, just specks in a vast blue sea, but many countries see them as the key to control, resources, and pride. The Philippines, China, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and even Taiwan all claim some or all of the Spratlys. China's claim is the most sweeping. It uses a 9-dash line that covers almost the entire South China Sea. The Philippines, on the other hand, claims parts of the Spratlys that are closest to Palawan, including Pag-asa Island. Vietnam and Malaysia have their own outposts and claims, sometimes overlapping with each other and with the Philippines. This tangle of overlapping lines creates constant tension. Each country builds structures or stations troops to strengthen its claim. Sometimes there are standoffs at sea, near collisions, or arrests of fishermen. The risk of misunderstanding or conflict is always present. For the Philippines, the Spratlys are not just about territory, they are about national dignity and the right to decide their own future. Pag-asa Island, as the largest Philippine-held feature, has become the symbol of this struggle, a place where the country's hopes, fears, and dreams converge. Pag-asa Island is home to about 200 Filipinos, families, government workers, and soldiers. It is the seat of the municipality of Kalayaan with its own mayor, town hall, and school. Here, civilian life continues under the watchful eyes of the military. Children study lessons in a small classroom, sometimes interrupted by air raid drills or the roar of a military plane overhead. Residents grow vegetables in gardens behind their homes, sharing extra harvests with neighbors. Power comes from solar panels and diesel generators. Water is collected from rain or shipped in from Palawan. Soldiers and civilians work side by side. The military guards the shoreline, maintains radio connections, and provides security. The residents organize community events, manage the small health clinic, and hold elections. In 2023, local polls saw islanders choose their leaders, proof that democracy persists, even so far from Manila. Life is not easy. Supplies are limited, medical emergencies require airlifts, and the presence of foreign ships is a daily reminder that this is a contested space. But the people of Pag-asa endure. They celebrate birthdays, hold fiestas, and keep the spirit of the Philippines alive at the edge of the sea. Pag-asa Island is about 480 kilometers from Palawan, farther from the Philippine mainland than many might imagine. Its isolation makes everything harder, supplying food, sending students to college, or even evacuating during storms. Yet this distance also highlights its importance in the country's legal claims. International law, especially the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, sets rules for what islands count as territory and what rights come with them. Because Pag-asa is a naturally formed island with a permanent population, the Philippines argues that it generates its own exclusive economic zone and territorial sea. China disputes this. It says its historic rights override modern international law, and that islands like Pag-asa fall under its 9-dash line. The distance from Manila is used by some to question the Philippines' claim, but for the island's residents, it is clear. We are Filipinos. This is Philippine land. This legal battle is not just about maps. It determines who can fish, drill for oil, or build structures in these waters. The outcome affects not only the islanders, but millions of Filipinos who depend on the sea for their lives and livelihoods. Pag-asa's story as a Philippine outpost began in the 1970s. In 1978, President Ferdinand Marcos issued Presidential Decree No. 1596, establishing the Calayan Island Group as a municipality and making Pag-asa its capital. This move was designed to strengthen the Philippines' claim, showing not just military control, but also civilian administration. At first, the island was mostly a military outpost. Over time, families moved in, government services were set up, and a civilian community took root. The town hall became the center of island life, hosting meetings, elections, and even weddings. The presence of civilians sent a powerful message. Pag-asa is not just a base, it is a living, breathing part of the Philippines. The government invested in infrastructure, an airstrip, a pier, solar panels, and a desalination plant. Teachers were assigned to the school, and nurses staffed the clinic. Even during storms or tense standoffs with foreign ships, the community endured. Today, Pag-asa stands as a unique blend of military outpost and civilian town. Its history is a reminder that sovereignty is not just claimed by force, but by living, working, and building a future, no matter how difficult the odds. Different countries use different strategies to strengthen their claims in the Spratlys. The Philippines chose to build a civilian town on Pag-asa, complete with elections, schools, and a mayor. This approach highlights the idea of peaceful, legal occupation. It is a bid to show the world that the island is not just a military post but a community. Vietnam, by contrast, has built small fishing and military outposts on its claimed features, often supported by rotating troops. Malaysia maintains a quiet but steady presence, focusing on economic activities and limited military patrols. Taiwan holds Ituaba, the largest natural island in the Spratlys, with both military and civilian facilities. China's approach is the most dramatic. It has built massive artificial islands, complete with airstrips, harbors, and missile sites, turning reefs into military fortresses. This rapid transformation has shifted the balance of power, worrying smaller neighbors. The presence of civilians on Pag-asa sets it apart. It is a peaceful assertion of sovereignty, but also a risk. Civilians are vulnerable in times of conflict. Yet, their daily lives, school, work, family, are a statement: we belong here. Since 2013, China has changed the face of the South China Sea. Using dredgers and construction crews, it has transformed small reefs like Fiery Cross, Subi, and Mischief into sprawling bases. Runways, radar domes, missile launchers, and barracks now dot these once empty spaces. These artificial islands are much larger and more heavily fortified than anything the Philippines or its neighbors can build. Chinese Coast Guard and naval ships patrol the area, often shadowing or blocking foreign vessels. This show of force has increased tensions and raised fears of conflict. The new islands are strategically placed. Some are close to Philippine-held features like Pag-asa, making supply runs and patrols riskier. Filipino fishermen report being chased away or harassed by Chinese ships. Sometimes dangerous water cannon incidents happen, putting lives and livelihoods at risk. China says these islands are for peaceful purposes, but their military power is clear. For the people of Pag-asa, the view of concrete fortresses rising from the sea is a stark reminder. The balance of power is shifting, but their determination remains unbroken. The Philippines has not relied on force alone. In 2013, it brought a case against China to the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague. In 2016, the tribunal ruled in favor of Manila, saying China's historic rights had no legal basis and upholding the Philippines' rights within its exclusive economic zone. China rejected the ruling, but it remains a key legal victory. Since then, the Philippines has strengthened its defenses on Pag-asa. New piers allow bigger ships to dock. The airstrip has been repaired. More troops and supplies are stationed on the island. The government works with allies, like the United States, Japan, and Australia, to train, share information, and improve capabilities. Diplomacy continues, but so do challenges. Incidents at sea, aggressive actions by foreign vessels, and the risk of escalation are ever present. Yet, the people of Pag-asa persist. They plant trees, teach children, celebrate fiestas. Their resolve is unshaken. Pag-asa stands as a symbol of hope. It is a reminder that sovereignty is defended not just by guns, but by community, law, and faith in the future. In this remote corner of the sea, the Philippines' last stand is also its strongest statement: we will endure.